welcome back to Beyond the Film podcast. I'm Meadow, she is Rose, and we're going to be diving into the nuances of filmmaking magic. So come with us as we talk about X-Men Last Stand, because it's an X-Men summer, baby.
I just pull a rabbit out of my sleeve. Did you said the magic? Okay, anyways.
We were reacting to the bunny.
Oh. Let's see what else is up here. Oh my god!
Wow!
That was a dove.
I would love to see a magic trick mutant. Besides Gambit. Okay, we know Gambit, he got his card. But like, let me see a magic trick mutant.
But like, is
like the magician is I don't know. Maybe the mutation is
but like
illusion.
Is that even but like is that even
like they can just do illusions? Like I don't know. I don't know. Like it's not for me to think about how it works. It's just for me to generate the ideas for the people. Let's get into this. So this is not a 3-hour podcast.
Check how long this podcast is.
Timestamp this right now. All right, so we open up with 3 seemingly unrelated scenes. Okay, we get a 20-year flashback.
Sorry.
We actually need to check on Rose. She's okay.
Let me lock in. I'm so sorry, y'all. This is what happens when I don't have my safety notebook with me.
So I'm into the corner all alone. But yes, it's 20. We get a 20-year ago flashback at the Gray House, then a 10-year ago flashback with some boy and his son. I mean, some man and
some boy and his son.
You know, he is some boy.
He is some boy.
Some boy and his son, and then the not so distant future. That's what they call
it.
Right,
mysterious. Yeah,
so ambiguous, and it's what we would like to call the present. And in that moment, when we got the little like, here's the present now, I realized that I was wrong last episode, and like ever since we started getting into the X-Men movies, I'm like, yeah, like, you know, they don't really have sequels. Like this is the third movie where we're seeing Rogue and Bobby. Like,
yeah, I think you're just remembering
incorrectly.
I
agree. And I do want to say that us watching the X-Men movies like this is the first time that I've watched them continuously to like understand the continuous movie plot. Like before, I would just watch the movies to just enjoy the individual movie storylines. It wasn't really about the continuous storyline. So there's that. But we're at the Gray House. We see Charles and we see
Eric.
I
know his name now.
Yes, you do. And I'm like, why is Charles walking?
No, I was like, wow, this is 20 years ago. He wasn't always handicapped.
But no, like he was not always handicapped. However, he has been handicapped since a young man. So it was like by that time he wouldn't have been walking. He would have been in a wheelchair. So I'm like,
how do you know this information?
Because of X-Men First Class.
Yes. Well, maybe. Okay, for people like me,
spoiler.
Well, not that, but like I don't care. For people like me who don't know that information, we're thinking like, oh, okay,
yeah,
Charles, you know, wasn't always handicapped. Like this is just 20 years ago.
This is really back in time.
Yeah, they are walking together. I will say though, maybe this is on purpose now, but I noticed that they're brushed. Both Charles and Eric are very brushed, and it's not like a makeup brush like to make them look younger. It's like CGI AI, and I was just chalked it up to bad editing, but maybe it's intentional.
Yeah, to make them look younger.
Well, no, to what you're saying, like it might be like a flashback or like a memory. It might not be reality.
Yeah. That's a really good thought. Like maybe that is what Jean is like experiencing and thinking about.
Yeah, because she wasn't washed. Well, I mean, she's also a child.
Right. But see, the only thing that makes me not think that these flashbacks are connected to Jean's mind is our next flashback. We are with
Warren.
Baby Warren. Yes. And he is picking at something on his back. We're like, what is going on? His dad is banging at the door. Warren, let me in. Warren, let me in. He's ashamed. He's I'm sorry, Dad.
I'm sorry.
Dad's like, no, not you too. And then boom, we're at a new scene all of a sudden. We're battling. We're fighting. It's the kids. It's Storm. And it's Wolverine. And I realized it's just a little battle simulator. But then we see some tension going on. Bobby and Rogue.
Bobby was finna catch these hands, I will say.
Because Bobby was finna catch these hands all movie. Not even going to lie.
No, Bobby's hugging. Like, watch out, because you're doing too much right now.
He's hugging up on Kitty.
Like, who is Kitty?
Who is Kitty?
Who is this?
Who is Kitty?
Don't play with
me. Yeah, he's hugging up on Kitty.
And I don't even like Rogue like that.
Simply because of battle reasons. But it's like, a little bit too intimate. Too much. And then, like, the look in the eyes afterwards.
Like, your girlfriend can't touch you, that you touching all this other girl. Like, you doing too much.
Like, literally. And then Rogue is just sitting like, oh, what the heck? Like, dang, Rogue. But Rogue should have spoken up for herself more.
Well, I think in her head, it was less of like, oh my God, Bobby, what are you doing? And more of like, I can't touch him.
Like, there's something wrong.
It was insecurity. Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't
absolutely.
Like, why are you touching this girl?
Yeah. That's real.
That's exactly what she sounds like.
Literally. Cadence and all. But next we're checking up on Scott. Scott is depressed.
Scott reasonably going through it. We also learned that this is not right after
correct
X2.
And we can see that with the maturity of the students as well. The students have matured much more.
Yeah, we see, whatchamacallit again? We get a name. What's his name? The Tin Man.
Oh, I don't know his name.
It's why which have apologies for that interruption. Technical difficulties.
Well,
anyway, what are we talking about?
We were talking about how we are checking up on Scott.
Oh right, yeah. He's
down bad.
Going through it.
Sad.
And also, this is not right after X-Men 2.
Correct.
We don't know how long though, do we?
No, they don't. They never specifically say. But, it gets alluded that Logan has been gone and he has just recently come back again because after, him and Storm are talking and he confronts Scott. He's like, hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. Like, I had to cover for you. I was just passing through. So he's like, just pass through, bro.
Yeah, I didn't catch on.
And Logan's like, oh, maybe it's time for us to move on. And right here, I am kind of annoyed because I'm like, what do you mean it's time for us to move on? You just had a crush on her. I was married to her. And, like, not only was I just married to her, but I've known her for so many years.
Not in his eyes.
Not in his eyes, no. But nonetheless, it's like, what makes you think? And he brings up, he's like, not everybody heals as fast as you, Logan. I'm like, damn, he got you with that. But yeah, next we get another jumping flash. I feel like in the beginning of this movie they have a lot of cuts to different parts, like in the last movie
they
too.
Do that. I feel like that's their stitch.
Yeah, that they have these multiple storylines that they then converge into one. Yes. So the next line of our story here is the Department of Mutant Affairs. First of all, I'm like, how did they get this? How did they get this?
First off, who is this blue man?
Yeah. Okay. So right now, if you're just watching it as like you watch X1, you watch X2, now you're watching Last Stand, you're like, who is this blue man? But if you watch X-Men First Class, like if you watch them in chronological order instead of release order, X-Men First Class comes first, and then we get introduced to this blue man. But anyway, we find out that his name is Hank. In this movie, we find out that his name is Hank, and he is Mr. Secretary of the Mutant Affairs. And I'm like, literally, how did they get this department? But he gets called into a meeting. At this meeting, we find out that Mystique, her birth name, first of all, is Raven.
Her dead name.
Her, entrapment name.
Yeah.
Her shackled name is Raven. And she is quite literally behaving like a caged animal. She, like, don't give her the chance because she will attack and you will get hurt. Like, she doesn't need anything to hurt you, just her body. But yeah, so we also find out that she stole a child, or was attempting to steal a child from the FDA, who has, and we see in the file that there's a mutant suppressant gene. And I'm like, interesting. And we also hear that these people in power kind of want to just use this mutant face as a cushion, a safeguard to make their actions more bearable, because we see something's happening. We don't know exactly what at this point, but something's happening where the mutant community is not really going to like it. And I'm guessing it got something to do with this mutant suppression gene.
Yeah.
So things are starting to bubble up. We get another flash to Charles and his class.
Okay. Before.
Yes.
At first, I thought that the blue secretary was like on the wrong side. Like, I thought he was, because he doesn't allude to, the government. Obviously, keep watching, you know why. But he doesn't allude like he's against it. Very much like, okay, like, tell me what you know. Like, keep talking. But he doesn't like disagree with this. So I'm like, oh, this man is an op. Like, he's against the mutants.
That's
like
him.
He gets into office and he just doesn't support his people. Like, the heck?
So whatever a mutant version of an Uncle Tom is, that's you.
We also see this is a new president too.
Yes,
this is someone else.
Yes,
and I feel like I don't know if it's that important for this movie. Maybe it's important later. We know that I'm gonna call her the wrong name. Mystique. Her parents like beat her. Like they were not good people to her.
Yeah.
Like, this probably alludes to why she is the way that she is.
Yes, definitely something to keep in mind for future X-Men movies. But yeah, things are now starting to bubble, and we get a flash to Charles' class, and we get an update, sort of, kind of, on like the kid who blinks to change the channel.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, period.
Like, he got more control of his powers. He's older.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
Those kids randomly like disappeared and came back. Okay,
like they're cool. They're all good.
Don't know where they went,
but they're talking about the tussle of human and mutant ethical relations and like what ethical relationships look like between humans and mutants. And then Charles all of a sudden starts sensing something, and we're like, yeah, what's going on? And all of a sudden he dismisses class.
You okay?
You good?
Also earlier, Scott was hearing his name being called.
Yes,
Scott.
I wrote that down.
Scott.
But yes, no, well, literally he's hearing things in his head. So that's what makes me think, like, is this Jean calling out to the professor as well? But there's also other things that are going on. Like, in this moment, he could have been sensing Jean. He could have been sensing Hank inside of the school. Or he could have also been sensing that they were announcing this cure. So after class is dismissed, he's having conversations with Storm in the hallway. And Storm is tired of hiding. Like, she is fed up. She's like, there's a president that understands us. Like, why can't we why can't we be out in the public? And like, yada, yada, yada. She just feels angry and like, just like hopeless and fed up. Her whole
stereotype.
Yeah. No,
angry.
Literally. And so I feel like that also plays into her superpower. Storms and like lightning and thunder. Interesting. But I think the key thing to take away from this as well is that he would want Storm to take over for him when he steps down. And that's something important to remember for later.
I will say, though, because she was like, okay, but like, what about Scott? And he was like, Scott's too far gone, baby. Like, he can't do it. So my thing is she like the second or third choice? Like, I would be a little peeved. Like, why wasn't I the first choice? Like, because if Jean was still here, would Jean be the first choice and then Scott, or would it be Scott and then Jean? Like,
but it's also, what does it matter in that sense? Like, because like, also she is aware of like her ranking and like her involvement in the school and like the amount of trust and like power or whatever. Because she immediately thought like, oh, there will be someone ahead in line with me. And I feel like when you work in a space that has hierarchy, you understand your place in the hierarchy, and there is no like, oh, like offense. Oh, you weren't going to choose me to be the first person. I
feel like there still is. I feel like human. no,
there's the Leo in you. No. Why wouldn't I be the first choice? I'm obviously the star.
Not like that. I just mean like human nature to be like, you didn't think of me first, so like, why think of me now?
Not like that's human nature.
It is. That's a natural response. maybe it's not a natural response for you, but like that's a natural thing to think about. Like I don't want to be not wanting to be someone's second choice is a natural thing to not want.
I think not wanting to be someone's second choice, yes,
that's what I'm talking about. Not like it should have been me type. No, like I don't want to do it because you didn't think of me first.
Okay,
that's what real. I mean.
But then we walk into this room. So this also makes me think that he was sensing Hank because like they're walking into the room exactly where Hank is at. Like there was no Hank just bumped into us. Like they went exactly where he was. So he is. We obviously see that Hank and the professor.
He's not an op.
Correct. Yep. You know, he's familiar. He's familiar with Professor and with Storm. The only person he's not familiar with is Logan. And, you know, they have animal to animal.
Yeah, he reaction. Was a little. I wrote down what he said. I don't remember, but he was a little rude.
Yeah.
Relax. I'm talking about the blue man.
Mm-hmm. Not he was Logan. Like, oh, yes, Logan, the Wolverine. I've heard. Quite an animal. He's like, look who's talking. And then he had the nerve to. Like you a gorilla, you an ape. Like you know.
Is that what he is?
He's an ape, some type of ape, something. He's not a monkey.
Very hairy for an ape. I was thinking like a lion or beast or something. Not.
I mean, his name is Beast, but like it's an ape vibe. Because he likes to hang upside down, like with his feet and like.
Yeah, that was his first scene, upside down. I was like, we upside down.
We are upside down. Yes, that's Beast.
I automatically thought of Beauty and the Beast.
But yeah, definitely ape influence.
Interesting
vibes here. Yes. But we get known what is happening here and like the cure and all this other jazz. And so they say that it's a permanent suppressor, but is that really the case? And it's like that is so scary. Like you're permanently altering someone's DNA to no longer have a strand, a specific gene. And this is where I question the title of the X-Men, or like maybe it's a double entendre as to what their name means. Oh, and it's like, is it X-Men because Charles Xavier? But it's also the mutant gene is the X gene, so it's like X-Men because they're mutant men. Right? Oh my gosh,
I was thinking. I was watching the end of it, and I was like, oh, like it's like the X-Men because of Charles. Gee.
It's like, yes, so it's like it could be a double entendre. It could mean these two things at the same time. So now we're getting to it with this mutant serum. Like this is where things are starting to come together.
We adapt and evolve as we go. So,
with that said,
so weird.
This is
staring at a corner.
We're looking at the corner, and there is no camera, as you can tell.
Yes, we are having some technical difficulties this episode, but we still want to give you an episode. So it's just the rest is just going to be audio only. We apologize in advance. Please still stick around. I feel like it'll still be a worthy podcast.
Yeah, definitely worthy.
We're just gonna have to like describe things a little more this episode.
Yeah. What kind of things?
Like, I don't know if we're doing like hand gestures. You know? She's drawing a box.
Yes. Okay. So describe. I'm like, I need to describe the words better. How do I? So let me paint y'all the scene. We're sitting on the couch.
No, honestly, yes. Imagine with this, all right? Imagine the camera is still on. We're sitting on our green, maybe teal on camera looking couch, right? We're wearing red and black, you know, for Miss Jean. A little spoiler Phoenix. For right now, and here's Phoenix. You know, we're sitting on the two corner squares. It's a 3 square couch. We got our lovely, dovely mascots, our cow and our duck. Yeah. I don't think we ever introduced to the podcast.
Maybe in the beginning. Maybe not, actually. I don't think we ever did.
Maybe we should save that for an episode they can see. But yeah, and there's pictures on the walls and flowers, and that's enough. All right, let's go.
All right. So, the next part that we're getting to, everything is coming to a head. We're getting the anti-mutation serum.
I can sit upside down if I want.
You literally could. Okay, so yeah, you know, now they're speaking about mutants as like they're regular people. Okay, at this time, I did not know who is talking. I'm like, this is just some man, some doctor, someone who is invested in.
I was so confused because on the screen, I don't remember what it said, but it said Warren blah blah blah. I think it said like Warren. I think it was he named his factory after his son or something. But at first I thought that was Warren. Now I'm thinking back, I'm like, that man is too old for 10 years. But I was like, Warren really hate himself. Like his daddy really made him hate himself. Like he created this cure,
and it's like
that's
craziness. And so yeah, it was not connecting for me. But the person who made the cure is Warren's father, and you know,
it's always somebody parent who don't love their child.
Correct. I do appreciate that this approach was less brutal and more loving.
We don't know how
their relationship was. But the needle didn't go through his skin because he flew away.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know how painful the needle was.
And how about the fact that when he was about to give him the serum, that needle was humongous versus when they were just like shooting people to make them mutants? I'm like, this is dramatic.
Or maybe he has some like special skin or something.
Maybe. But yeah, I doubt it. I think they were doing dramatic effects.
Word.
He needed to be scared so that he could break free. It was for the plot.
Insert High School Musical. Anyways.
And yeah, as they're announcing this, you know, their mutants are just regular people. Yeah, they can be normal again. Yeah. Yes, we need to cure them. Storm's getting fired up. Mm-hmm. She's like, what kind of coward would take this cure? Like, she is blinded by her anger and her perspective that they would have the audacity to do this. And Hank is like, how about the fact that everyone doesn't shed on the couch wherever they go, Storm? No. Everybody can't hug their man.
I was like, girl, dang. Like, she calling out these people heavy.
No, for real. And it's like, your brothers and sisters, you're willing to call them cowards. And, like, you know, I thought it was supposed to be mutants together forever.
He made a really good point, though.
Yeah.
It was also personal for him, too. Like,
yeah.
I can't take, like, I'm blue every day, babe.
Like, and yes, I'm still not going to take the cure because mutant proud and, like, look at where I am to be mutant proud. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I can understand the perspective as to why people would. And you should see that, too. And not gonna lie, I think that this plays into what I was saying last episode about Charles, and honestly what we've been saying about Charles since we've introduced him to the podcast. It's kinda, and that the way that he tries to shelter and protect people is a very one-sided lens, and I think that's very obvious in the way that Storm has evolved as a woman, where she has this one-sided perspective of what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. And you get sheltered like that, and you don't have a choice but to have that perspective.
That's who raised you, yeah. Product of your environment.
Mm-hmm. And man, but Rogue comes in and she's like, they can cure us, and she's all happy. And Storm goes up and she's like, no, they can't cure us because there's nothing wrong with you. And it's like,
even that wasn't like nurturing either.
No, it was just simply a reaction. Like, Storm is triggered, so she is having triggered reactions. But in this moment, Rogue needed someone to talk to her and like just, you know, understand from her perspective and reassure her, not just shut her down and fill her with your own ideas. You know, very important. So we move on and we see that a community of mutants are having a meeting at this abandoned church or whatever,
which is crazy because they had a sign too. No humans.
That's right.
Mutants only. Like, is this not? I was like, okay, maybe the world is a little more healed. So I was like, okay, is this not a target? Like, you're telling them exactly where you are.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But then, yeah. So I'm like, I'm glad that no one has come to like,
yeah.
Ra-ta-ta-ta. So,
she did gun motion.
Oh man. So, you know, the leader, whoever is in charge, whatever, like this, the facilitator, the speaker, he is saying, he's coming from a more diplomatic approach. He's like, let's get together with the people, let's send them our complaints, da 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 da, and the people are like kind of listening, kind of throwing rebuttals. Then here come Magneto, changing the whole narrative. Actually, let me corrupt y'all minds. Let me fill y'all up. And so throughout this movie, I was seeing how Magneto and Charles are very similar. They are like two sides of the same coin. And especially in their tactics to manipulate. Like both of them are manipulators. And the way that Magneto does it, he does it by filling people's heads up. Like you're a god, like you're powerful, like this, that, and the third. Like these are peasants, and just amps your head up, and then wants to put you in his place, like
his pocket.
Like don't worry, like you're so powerful, you're so this, da 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 da. But when I need you to be in your place, you're gonna be in your place, and it's like, ooh, manipulative. But we see Flamo, and not
that's his name.
No, that's not his name, but that's what I've been calling him because I don't like him.
I don't know his name.
His name is John, and I think he calls himself like the Flame, maybe, but I just call him Flamo because like you're cringe. Not him with his little clicking gloves.
Right, I was like, he fire gloves. Okay, like, little fire boy.
Like, I'm like, okay, and they click at that too. So like,
because he needed that fix.
The fix of the lighter. But he gains some power. Magneto gains some power. Sure, you can say that. But he gains some mutants on his team that have different powers. And one of the powers of the mutants, she can run super fast, and also she can sense any mutant and their power, their power level.
Yeah.
Very interesting power combination as well. I feel like those two are seemingly unrelated, but maybe there's some neural pathways that connect that we don't know about. Maybe it's just movie magic. Yep. That's your favorite thing. It's just movie magic. Yep. It's just movie magic, Meadow. Don't worry. But yeah, and she is talking to Magneto, and she's like, "I'm sensing someone." Da da da. She's like, "But no." She's like, "I sense what you guys' powers are," and he's like, "Oh, you can sense anybody? Like, I got someone who I need you to find.
It's time for me to go get my girl.
My girl. I love her." And next we see Hank is at the lab. Yep. You know, we get this flash, and he is getting to meet the source of the cure. You know, he's like, "Hey, we don't really support how you're treating this kid." And I also am like, you know, why? I understand that this mutant has the power to suppress other mutations around him, but why is he bald head? Are y'all doing that to him, or is that just his mutation? Like, if this is his mutation, okay, cool. Secondly, why does he have to wear all white and also have to be in a room that's all white? Children need color for development. I know he got some toys and a TV and a little window, but it's like, why are y'all treat him like this?
Yeah, I wish they would have went on his character a little more so we could understand more about him. Like, did he go there voluntarily? Like,
was he captured?
Because his whole character is very nonchalant.
Yes, very chill.
Yes, the only time he was like a little scared is when
Juggernaut was
trying to attack him.
He's like, ooh.
Yeah, he was never like, you know, scared or like going crazy. Like, I'm stuck in this room.
Like, I'm being abused. Yeah. He's like, nah, bro, I'm chill.
And he was like, yeah, he was apologizing. He's like, yeah, sorry,
you not a mutant no more. Yeah. My bad.
So maybe he's like, I feel like with most mutants, they like his parents, but like it wouldn't even affect his parents, you know?
Exactly. They wouldn't have even known. Like, how did this happen?
Maybe he went there, but like he would have to be around other mutants
to know this. Yeah. So it's like, how?
Yeah.
Questions. Like, too many holes in this movie, I would say. But yes, he gets introduced. His name is Jimmy, the source of the cure, and we see that he doesn't even need to be touched to see the impacts of his gift. Like, you just get into a certain radius, and boom, look at that. And that makes me wonder, how is it that they made this cure, this serum, quote unquote, you know, permanent regression of this, or like repression of this gene? But for Hank, he took his hand back, and not too long after, it just turned back to normal.
See, I was thinking it was like the amount of time
prolonged exposure. Yeah, that's what I was also thinking too. Yeah, like maybe it's like working its way through, and then the mutant gene just hurries up and like regenerates. And this scene that I'm about to speak on is a little bit further into the movie, but it relates back to the cure, and it's a very short scene, so I thought it would be appropriate to just mention it now. And it's the scene where we were talking about where Warren, he's going to get the serum, and you know, his dad calls him in. He's like, hey, like, come on, like, we're about to administer it. Like, at first they just announce it, and now they're about to administer it. And he's like, my goodness. He take off this harness, like, you can see that he's been hiding this. It's a big old coat, and takes off the harness, and we see his wings. They're so beautiful, and he lays down on the table, and then he's like, actually, this is not for me. This is just for you, Dad.
Yeah.
So he dips out, and that makes me wonder what was going on in that bathroom. Like, did he feel it protruding out, like teeth coming out of the gums, and he's like, let me try to shave them away? Or like, did he cut any of it off?
I'm assuming that, one, they weren't as big as they are when we see them.
Correct, yeah.
So he probably was like, because he's like, I'm sorry, like he probably knew already. He was trying to like suppress it. So I feel like depending on how big they were, like he was
like just trying to keep them shaved down.
And if this was like a reoccurring thing, he was just redoing it. So it was already small.
Yeah, because he had the tools in there and everything.
He had a freaking cheese grater up in there.
I was like seeing all the blood. Like, this part of the movie always made me cringe. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. But
poor kid. The actor's pretty popular too, at least when he was younger.
Good for him.
I don't remember what movie. Popular white kid. I don't know. Anyways.
No, I don't know. But we see Scott. He's headed to Lake Alkali.
I forgot about that, man. There's been so much going on already.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're back on the Jean and Scott,
right. Yeah.
line. He's been hearing her in his head. Scott. He's like, I need to go find my girl. What's going on? Like, I'm going crazy. So he's out there at the lake, and he's like, girl, you better stop whispering in my head. And he laser beams of water.
Which is like,
yeah, he frustrated. He's like, I wonder what that feels like for him. Like, when he has the glasses on, does it feel like he's holding something back? Like there's a scratch somewhere that he can't itch. There's an itch somewhere he can't scratch.
Yeah, his eyes are open though.
Correct.
And he's always like, so is it like bouncing back? Is it just hitting and like are the glasses like absorbing it?
Yeah. So he like gets the itch all the time. So yeah, like what's the point of taking it off and like letting it go? Like, I feel like that sensation might be different. So, letting out some anger. And boom, water fights back.
Right.
Water's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a little turn up inside out, upside down.
It's a whirlpool?
Word. Happening right now, I'm like, what is going on?
And then kaboosh. And Jean appears.
Here comes Jean. She's not dead.
Oh my gosh. She's literally on the cover.
Which is also like, tying into the last movie where we see the last scene with like the little shadow over the water, and she comes back from the water.
Look at that. And so they theorize that Jean's powers, her subconscious powers, where the Phoenix resides,
first
put her in a cocoon. Like,
before this, she kisses Scott.
Just let me cook. So they theorize, yes, that she was put into a cocoon by her powers, and like that is what saved her underneath the water. And I'm guessing like maybe it's his forceful lasers that like popped that cocoon, and that's why she was able to come out at this moment.
I didn't even think about that. I was just like, that makes sense.
Because like, why else would she be calling him? Like, she was calling him to the lake. She did that on purpose
to save her, quote unquote.
And like, I also was thinking,
manipulative.
Let me continue on. So yes, she has this new ability to control her power. She's like, take your glasses off. Like, you won't hurt me. Like, I want to see your eyes, right? No, baby, it's okay. And so he trusts her, and then they kiss, and she's like sucking the life out of him.
Yeah, you see like what happens when Rogue is touching people. You see like the skin start to like lose color and shrivel up like a raisin.
This makes me wonder two things. Like, did she call him out there to, get herself released? Because I feel like she was kind of stuck in that cocoon, stuck underneath that pressure perhaps of that water, and needed a burst to and then also, did she need a snack? Like, is this girl a soul eater?
Yeah, I was like,
does she need to consume energy?
What's the whole point? Like, what's the reason of it? Like, I feel like they never go into Phoenix and
correct her motives.
Yes, her motives, her reasoning, her brain. Like, she's like, oh, she's angry. Oh, okay.
Well, actually, the way that Charles paints it is that she's all about joy, desire, and
rage.
Yes. And it's like,
so maybe it's like lust.
Yeah,
and
like
then
perhaps.
It just happens.
And it's like, maybe, perhaps. But I think that Jean is unable to control the extent of the powers.
Yeah.
But Phoenix is able to.
Yeah,
and like the person who was kissing Scott was Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so she did it for a reason. I think that she literally needed to consume energy. I think that she needed to consume some kind of power to rejuice.
Yeah, I wish they would have gave us some more.
Something. But he kind of just turns into...
disappear. We don't even know yet, confirmed.
Yeah, he just like
poof.
Kiss and poof. Yeah.
And the next scene.
You know, we need to get things figured out. And Charles is like, I need y'all to get to Lake Alkali immediately. So Scott and Storm, they fly out there. Rocks are floating around. Right. Scott's glasses are floating around, and we don't see no laser beams floating around. So we're like, what's going on? Jean's passed out, but where is Scott?
The thing is, they ain't never say that.
They didn't.
I was like, do y'all not care right now?
Like, Logan was like,
he picks up the glasses.
This is weird.
And that's it.
And then she's like, oh my gosh. Storm, I'm like, Jean's over here. And so I think that Storm did not know that Scott was at Lake Alkali. And I don't
tell them?
No, he didn't tell anybody. He just left. The last person he saw.
Did Charles tell them?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that he knew that Scott was there. So either.
Only Logan knew?
Mm-hmm. Okay. He saw the glasses and then boom, instantly went out of his mind when he saw that Jean was alive. Like, he just thought that this lady was dead for years. Like, she's been quote unquote dead for years now. And so it's like, instantly out of my mind. Like, I don't care about Scott. Like, I care about this girl. So
mega side eye.
Of course. And it's like, but I feel like if Storm would have known, then she would have been more like, where is Scott? But since she wasn't aware that Scott was there, she didn't even think like, oh, we should look for him too.
I feel also though they didn't touch on Scott for a long time. Like, they didn't touch back on Scott till like the end. Like, they spoiler to like the end of the movie, but like they gave everyone else a funeral first before Scott. Like, this man was the first one dead. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. He was just sad and then he was dead. It's like, okay, like wow, just F Scott.
Great character arc there. I feel like this movie really ruined, or maybe there's some stuff in the future that I don't know about that's going on in movies that I haven't seen yet. But I'm like, this is a crazy arc for 3 people to die. Like, just like, okay,
like that's it.
Like what was the point? Like, I'm so confused right now.
Yeah. But now we're getting a checkup on Jean, okay?
Right.
And this is the second time that class is mentioned in terms of ranking of mutants. And class 5 is top tier. And so we learned that Phoenix, Jean, the combination, they are class 5.
She is a strong one.
She is a strong one. And that we learned that her mutation is rooted in her subconscious. And Charles, he does some kind of tests on Jean as a child, and that's where the Phoenix came about. So it's like, you're trying to teach Jean how to control her powers, or is it that you're trying to control Jean and then a second personality developed? So it's like, I want to know what kind of test were you putting this girl through that she needed to create a whole secondary personality to protect herself? Like, children do that as a form of a protection. Like, think about Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what were you doing to that girl, Charles? That's what I want to know. And, we get mentioned that joy, desire, and rage. And we kind of get a Logan v. Charles here, where we're like, bro, why are you trying to control her? And she's like, yeah, like she needs to be controlled. Like, oh my goodness. And it's like, who does that sound like, Charles? Who do you sound like right now? You sound like the people out there trying to control y'all. You're like, no, you don't understand. Like, and I don't need to explain myself. Less is all to you. And it's like, you may not need to explain yourself to Logan. Like, you may be true about that, but you need to explain yourself to somebody, Charles. Like, you are power unchecked here. Like, you're playing God inside of this little school. And that's not okay.
Gee, I forgot in the beginning when they went to visit Jean, I was like, when she was talking, I don't remember what she said. Something about her powers, or like, I don't remember. Anyways, I was like, dang, like this little girl is feisty. Like,
no, for real.
Who is this? Like, this is not the Jean that we see in like the past movies. Like, it's very like, oh my gosh, scared of her powers and very timid and stuff. So like seeing the like, oh, she has like an alter personality. I was like, okay, this resonates to like how she was back in the day.
And I think that perhaps her with sass is a more holistic version of her. I think that she was groomed by Charles to be afraid of her powers.
Which is so ironic because like it's always like, no, like you gotta get control of your powers, like, you gotta be confident and blah blah blah.
And he's scared of her powers, so he taught her to be scared of her powers too.
Well, yeah, she seems like stronger than he is. Absolutely.
With what comes next, absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, let's just wait for that conversation when we get there. So actually, we're getting pretty close there, but we're on this pursuit of Jean now. Okay, so she breaks out from.
Right. She wakes up. Her and Logan start kissing, and Logan's like, "Yo,
she's very seductive.
Babe, what you doing?"
Like she is a seductive girl, and it's very much so giving Phoenix.
Yeah, and then she like snaps back into Jean,
and she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, and we can see that her eyes are changing as she's doing this.
She's like, "Get like you gotta off me!" Like,
she's advocating the Wolverine, bro. She's getting them riled up. Like, whoa, chill. And it's like I mentioned before, Jean is scared, weak. Phoenix is confident, strong. And Magneto and Charles, they go on this race to find her. And on Charles' pursuit, you know, he got to pick up his shotty. He pick up Mystique. He like, hey.
On Eric's pursuit?
Yep. Did I say Charles' pursuit? Man. Anyway, though.
I was like, Charles got a shotty?
No. My bad. Mystique and Magneto. Magneto's pursuit and his shotty.
Yeah, she over here teasing the officer.
No, for real. She's like, let me out. Please let me out. I'm gonna kill you when I get out of here. He's like, shut up. I don't care. I don't care about nothing. All the people did. As soon as things start hitting the fan, he start crushing cars. He start throwing things. Things start going
crazy though. Like, he did not care for their lives, not even a little bit.
No, he don't care about human lives. He barely cares. He cares about mutant lives if they align with his vision.
Yeah, but I don't think he would ever like smash a mutant in a car. Like, I feel like
I think he would.
Really? You don't think he would like try to like
talk
to him? At least give him the opportunity to switch?
Like, if they are actively trying to stop him in his pursuit of like, you know, mutant liberation, then he's gonna kill you. No, like, the cause is greater than like a few mutant lives. Like, I'm saving so many more mutant lives.
I will say though, one thing I'm realizing and noticing in like these X-Men movies versus like some of the Marvel movies, there's no tug and pull of like offing people's lives. Like, is that morally good or bad? Like, there's no discussion here. Like, it's just, that's just something we do around here. Like, yeah, who cares?
But yeah, all the humans are dead. Mystique, she offs off the man that was, you know, taunting her, and she's taunting him back. And we find out that more mutants are on this portable prison.
I didn't even know.
Me neither. And one of which is the Juggernaut.
Yes.
Which his mutant power is that nothing can stop him once he builds momentum.
An object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on by an outside force, except for him. I was like, oh, I know him from the Deadpool Yes, Deadpool series. The thing is, I'm very curious what happened, or like maybe it's part of his mutation, because in Deadpool, he's a lot bigger.
Correct. That's also what I was thinking about. And I was thinking about that in terms of Colossus as well.
Who's Colossus?
The Silver Man.
Okay. But didn't he just grow up?
I mean, like, he becomes an adult, and like here he's a man, but it's like, how much more do you grow after like 18? Not that much where he's like significantly taller, significantly buffer.
Or maybe it's just not continuity.
That's what I'm thinking, because in like when we watch X-Men, like when we watched X-Men Origins, I mean not X-Men Origins, but Wolverine, well, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Okay, it was like there's two different movies.
Yes, then they have the same title, X-Men Origins : Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes, but in that movie we see Deadpool, and like Deadpool, his mouth is shown shut, like swords are attached to his body. He can phase in and out of places.
But that one they explain in Deadpool. They explain that continuity mishap.
Yeah, they're just like yes, just a little bit. So yeah, I don't know how.
I guess they don't care enough.
Correct. So just like whatever. But yes.
Anyways,
Juggernaut is here,
and that other man,
one of the security guards,
is multiplying man too.
Yes, correct. And one of the security guards are not fully dead, and he's like, "I'm going to take somebody else out with me." And Mystique, she protects him.
No, not my man.
And then for him to just treat her like that
could have been you. And it was. That's
exactly.
What you get.
Exactly.
That was crazy though. But like he also left her there naked.
Correct.
And alone.
And he was disgusted. He like was actually like, we saw his face like be like, ugh, pale skin. She was so beautiful. Like that's literally what he said when he walked away. Like she was so beautiful. Like that's sad. That's horrible.
Making me have sympathy for this girl.
So now they're at her house.
Jean's house.
Yes, we're at Jean's house now. Mm-hmm. Magneto and Charles, they get there just like old times, just like 20 years ago.
First off, where are her parents?
I think they're dead.
So they just kept the house. They didn't rent it out. They didn't buy it. Because they still got the mailbox on the corner with the gray sign. It still looks very much intact, like couches, kitchen, the whole shebang.
Yeah, I think that it is when people don't have like next of kin, or like maybe it was written in their will that like the house just goes to Jean, but she hasn't been there to like care about the house. She's been with the X-Men, so it's just been sitting there in the same condition as when they left it.
You gotta pay taxes on that.
Yeah,
property taxes.
Yeah, but we don't know anything about the finances in this movie.
We don't. Like,
so we already know. Money. Like, we already are very confused. Maybe Charles was taking care of it, So it was like, who knows? Where's he getting money from? I don't know. But yeah, we're here at Jean's
crib,
childhood home, and Magneto he's popping a bubble. He's like, Charles, your games are not going to work here anymore. Like, stop trying to talk to her like a child. Like, she's literally a grown adult. And he's letting her know straight he wants to control you. And Charles is like, no, I don't want to control you. And it's like,
trying to help you, Jean.
You literally just said 20 minutes ago to Logan that she needs to be controlled. So you're lying. You're literally lying.
Yep.
And, he's really stubborn and manipulative, and it's like, Charles, you're really aren't giving, are you?
I quote back to a different podcast.
Literally,
I feel like it's also a good example of like, quote unquote hero versus quote unquote villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he really a villain, or is he just approaching the situation differently? Because like you were saying earlier, they seem very similar in their tactics and like what their end goal, but they're just attacking the situation differently.
Yeah,
differently.
And then things start hitting the fan, and I love how Magneto's like, make sure no one comes into the house, and as soon as Wolverine starts to attack, he throws him into the house.
Literally, I'm like,
Okay.
You just defiled the one rule. Like, you just...
Like, the point was for him to get into the house, and you aided him.
You put him in the house.
Like, I could have sworn he said, don't do that.
Right. Like,
I don't know. Maybe I heard wrong. My fault. I'm tripping.
PMO.
But the fight is happening, and it's a fight for real, and there's a loser. Charles.
Yep.
Lost his life.
R.I.P. Charles.
Dissolved.
And Eric just sat there.
I mean, but what he gonna do? He gonna get dissolved next.
Jean, stop! Something.
Nah.
Get up. Something.
It's like, hey.
Like, even, like, Logan was trying his hardest to get in that room.
But it's like, if Logan had to try his hardest, like, Magneto, he doesn't have any physical strength. He's just an old man. And, like, he's being pushed back by this force.
I guess. It also felt like Charles wasn't trying, though, either.
This is also what I wanted to say when we were talking about, like, maybe Jean is more powerful than him. Mm-hmm. But it's like, is he? Maybe he needed her to think that he was dead for her closure, for the plot.
I mean, it's dead.
No, he's not. If you watch there's a second end credit scene where he wakes up in a hospital. He wakes up in a hospital with a doctor. Oh, I forgot about
that. Okay, yes, he does. But
so that means he is alive.
I forgot. I wrote that down. I forgot about that scene.
So that man is dead. No.
Okay, his body is dead.
Temporarily. So yeah, I'm thinking like maybe his mutation helped protect him in the same way that it did Jean. Like if Jean can be hit with million pounds of water.
Didn't even like his plan was stupid. Like it didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything to save her. We don't know what his plan was. Like I don't know.
Like what was the point?
I don't know. Maybe he was just like there is no saving her. Maybe he just gave up. Maybe that's simply his plan. It's giving. And it's like
gave up, and he quoted back to he was like, "I was teaching a lesson this morning. Maybe I should pull from that."
Poof. And disappear. So
because like I was, it felt like he wasn't trying because if Logan could at least try to get in the room,
he has some type of mental powers to be able to do something.
There was no tug.
And so like I'm just thinking maybe she's like maybe she needs this for her emotional development and it'll work out in the end. But it's like we already know that he doesn't have the best decision making skills and sucks. Like continuous thought processes and such. But now we're at the aftermath. Okay, he has a beautiful service. Everyone's sad. Oh
Storm's
man,
giving a speech.
He got a nice big gravestone.
There's on burning fire.
Bobby sitting in between both his girlfriends, holding Kitty's hand, and I'm like,
why are you touching her?
You could be holding Rogue's hand right now. She has gloves on.
Right,
you could be holding her hand, and it's like. Then we move on to. Baby boy is trying to cheer Kitty up in the evening, and he creates this ice skating rink for her. And I'm like,
they giggling, holding hands,
and it's like, bro, you literally could do this with Rogue. Like, you just don't want to. Like, you could do this with Rogue. You could ice the thing over. Y'all could hold hands. Like, everything that you're doing with Kitty, like, all the platonic little touches here and there, you could be doing with Rogue. So it's like, you're just not trying that hard. And it's like, okay.
And telling her she has nothing to worry about. Like, when she, like, Rogue is obviously upset that she can't touch you. And he's like, no, like, it's fine. Like, I don't care.
And it's like, yeah, you don't care because you're getting touched by somebody else. That's why you don't care. And it's like, that's messed up. So yeah, F Bobby this movie. He pretty much sucks all the way. And so Rogue, she's like, she sees this and she is upset. So she's like, I'm gonna go out and I want to get this cure.
Yeah, I'm tired of not being able to touch people. Like, I want to touch my boyfriend. Like,
and she sees Logan on her way out. He's like, hey, you need a ride? And she's like, shouldn't you be telling me to stay?
Right.
And he's like, girl, I'm not your daddy. I'm your friend. And she's like,
oh, you right? You not my daddy. Let me get it together.
Oh, okay. You right. You my friend.
I still don't see it.
But no, I wasn't saying like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just like, she just smirked. And she like, right. And he's like, don't do it just because you want some play, girl.
Period.
Do it because you want to do it for yourself.
He should take his own advice.
He should. But
you want one of these?
No, it's fine. Have them.
I stole both of the flower pillows, by the way.
She needs them. You know, they're nice and comfy. But yeah, it's like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And she still leaves. She thinks about it, and she's like, yeah. And so it's like, yeah, that's good for you, Rogue.
It really is a sucky power. Like, she can adapt people powers, but it's only for so long until they like KO. Like, it's nice, but it's not like.
And it's not even just that she is absorbing other people's powers. It's like she's absorbing their life force, because when she touches humans, they like die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they KO. For shizzle.
And yeah, for a little. She's not that little, but like for a teenage girl, like that's important. Storm.
The heck? Literally hasn't been able to have physical contact with someone for probably like at least
since
3 years. Well, since it was past puberty, it was like a heightened emotion situation. Like she was probably about to, you know,
she was about to kiss a boy.
Maybe do it for the first time.
No, they showed it.
I know. Oh. I'm saying like the moment, like that situation. Tensions are high. Like I'm thinking that they're about to do it for the first time. Like that's what's happening here.
I don't think it went that far. Well, I don't
because they didn't get to do that. I don't think whatever. It doesn't matter arguing about that. Anyway, though, so she leaves. Magneto and Phoenix, we see them together in the woods now, and her hair is redder. And this is where I peep Magneto's manipulativeness, where he's like filling her head up so in order for them to follow him. And there's something happens where there's a little bit of tension in between Phoenix and Magneto, where he's like, whoa,
yeah, because she's like, she's seeing Charles in him. She's like,
you're trying to control me too? Just like him. And bro, Flamo, he talking about, yeah, I would have killed Charles if you gave me the chance. And Magneto has to put him in his place, like, Charles did more for the mutant race than you will ever know.
That was still my friend,
like,
babe.
Don't get it twisted. The biggest regret is that he had to die for our dream to live. Like, Flamo, he did something for you too.
Know your place.
And like, that's why, like,
didn't want you.
Like, who took you in? And like, it's like, bro, he just wants to be angry and wants to kill people.
He definitely is very angry.
And he's just not a good person.
Well, he's still, he's still a child. Like, literally, his parents didn't want him. Like, he has a lot of trauma. And that's what they need up in that school.
A therapist.
These kids are traumatized. Their first people that are supposed to take care of them don't want them. Like,
correct.
So you're going to take them in and just cater to their powers? Like, no, you need to cater to their mental.
Mm-hmm. And not just them learning, like their emotional stability.
Mm-hmm. That's why Jean turned out the way. That's why you did. You all circled back.
Circled back. Charles,
it's your fault.
So now we're getting to the climax. All right. So Bobby, he's looking for Rogue. It's morning time. She been gone all night. It could have been a whole new day. Like, it could have been 24 hours could have elapsed here. And you just now looking for her.
Got keying with Kitty when he should have been checking on his girl.
Exactly. Checking on her after Charles died. Like, Bobby? Like, Rogue, I understand that you want to do this, but you should, like, not have gone back to Bobby.
Teenage boys, bro. Like, this is, like, I feel like it's just the epitome of a teenage boy. Naive.
But yeah, then he finds out that he left, and now Magneto makes an announcement to the news about they're pushing this cure out. They're pushing it out by force, and anybody that's in our way is going to take a permanent dirt nap.
You either join us or sit this one out, babe,
because you're not gonna like the results if you try to fight. And then we get Logan fighting in the woods, just fighting in the woods, trying to get to Jean.
He just randomly fighting in the woods. I don't know why.
He just fighting. There. He fighting. He got to get to Jean. He got to fight. And we find out when he gets, where he needs to be, that they plan on using the Phoenix as the weapon. She'll be the main weapon. And she wants to use it. He plans to use the cure against mutants that stand in his way. And I'm like, wow. This movie was giving Magneto is a villain. This movie was not giving, who is a villain and who is not, or is he a villain or is he not, instead of who's a villain and who's not. Because his blatant
disregard.
Exactly. For human and mutant life. I thought that you were so mutant proud, but you're willing to use the cure against your fellow mutants. It's you're oh, humans are disgusting and vile, and I would basically give you a fate worse than death.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just letting you die, I would turn you into a human. You have to live without your mutation.
Which is ironic, because the first movie, you want to do the opposite.
Correct. Wants to turn everybody into mutants.
I feel like this movie, because I thought this was going to be the ending plot to X2, this movie was giving very much he wants to be ruler type. He wants to be in charge. He wants to call the shots. Yes, exactly. One little small note, though, before we move on. I thought it's very interesting that we see, in this movie and the last one, we see, different variations of Wolverine's powers. The other guy, he was growing wood out of his body that he snapped off and
was throwing it.
Yeah, which I feel is not very similar to Wolverine, but it's some adaptation of it, which is okay, interesting. But is this laziness or is this intentional?
I'm thinking it's I don't know. I would want to say that it's there's so many mutants that you can create, where it's there definitely are going to be some repetitions, not in just in a creative box way, but in the way that genes work, and one gene can be turned into different types of things and can go down different routes.
Evolution.
When this is kind of related, but in biology class, where our teacher is hey, my brother, he has had so many different hair colors throughout his lifetime because his genes have suppressed and
that would be interesting for a mutant whose powers changes
as they grow. So it's interesting. Genes are interesting and different, so all different kinds of things that be going on with that. Did you want to say something else before we moved on?
No.
We see now that Mystique is she is seeking her revenge. Hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm finna snitch on you. She
walk in there nice and suited up. Yeah, hear his plot. Here's what he doing next. Da, 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 da.
I literally jumped in front to save your life and you left me.
It's I understand if I can't be a part of the crew no more, but you left me. You left me in the middle of the road.
Alone, naked. Okay, next.
Wow. You're disgusting.
I wonder what this will be like, because we get teased at the end, this might not be a permanent type, so I wonder what their dynamic is going to be moving forward.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
I was just I don't know.
Okay, T.
Yeah. Okay, and now with that information that they're getting from Mystique, they want to go storm the base, which I'm kind of confused about. How does she know where the base was going to be? They look like they just set up camp somewhere randomly in the woods.
Oh, that base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not where they went to go, wherever they were at.
I was I believe he said Alcatraz when they were okay, let's leave.
Yeah. No, for sure it's at Alcatraz. That's where the
I also didn't know Alcatraz was in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's off the coast of California.
Now I know.
Yes, ma'am. That was a real prison. They really had people there.
Yeah, I knew. I knew that they had
Al Capone.
I'll say Al Pacino.
Was that a real person? Mr. Cappuccino, your cell's right here.
Stop! That sounds racist. I did not mean
what race would be Mr. Cappuccino. Never mind. Actually,
because that sounds racist.
Yeah, I will say I don't even want to theorize. I don't. Yeah, I genuinely don't even know.
Let's move on back to the movie.
Anyway, yeah. So they got to go to Alcatraz, but so they have to storm, the mutants that are against the serum base.
Yes,
and they outsmart the feds. It's just the Mr. Multiply man.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And he's just
I forgot about the scene.
I'm just here all by myself. Who would have thought?
Oops.
And so I wonder what tipped them off.
They all looked. He looked like his things look. Oh, they had it on the little computer.
Yes.
I was like, he looks the same every time. Like, what are you like?
Right. No, it was like their body temperature.
Yeah.
He cam. That's what it's called. So
now, sorry.
No, go ahead. What is interesting?
His powers, because he can multiply, and like it's not just like Loki, which is like a little
illusion.
Screen. Yeah, I don't think his would have a heat like radiating off him, so he's literally configuring whole other like full
like
bodies.
Living.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
replicas. Very interesting. And it's like I wonder how much autonomy each one of those individual beings have. It's like, do they all just do what he does? Do they do different things? Are they like hive mind? Because like how do they know when it's time to be back to one? Like if you cut off the head of one of them, like does he feel that?
Does two more grow in his place?
Dun, dun, dun. Is it like, ouch, you pinched me, like that kind of hurt? Like what does it feel like? Like I
pinch me.
Like I don't know. Like does he like when they come back? Is he missing a pinky toe or something? Like I want to know what happens.
Yeah, but we're never gonna know.
We are never gonna know. I wonder. Never mind. So now we're at the boss fight. Okay. Oh my gosh. So this man, he's like, how we finna get there? Is we finna swim? He like, no, I got a plan.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
Also, that family in the car.
Baby girl locked the door. You should have locked the door a long time ago.
I was like, what is that gonna do? He just moved a whole bridge.
Like, he could literally end your life in one.
That was he very much just like, and then walked off. I was like, thank the stars.
No, for real. Like, I would have been like, kids, let's start praying.
My thing is, like, do you think they were sitting there the whole time? Because they were stuck because of the cars next to them. Were they just watching? Like,
they had no choice. You can close your eyes. No, I need to see this. This is crazy.
Those things you can't turn away from.
It's like, oh my gosh. And yeah, that was R.I.P. the people that fell through the cracks. R.I.P. them. Man, R.I.P. all those car batteries. Nobody was able to turn their car off. Some people thought it was an earthquake.
They ain't going back. They ain't getting those car insurance.
No, for real. By the end of the movie, tell me why they was already rebuilding the bridge. Listen, the people of San Francisco has somewhere to go.
Like, they got right.
I can't be doing this.
Also, where is the mansion? Like, where do the main things take place?
Like Charles's mansion, like the school, that is in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yes, okay. They live in upstate New York area, not like New York City. And this also makes me wonder, do we see that Eric gets to flicker the chess piece because he is so strong? Like, I'm thinking that this would maybe be something more permanent for someone who has less powerful,
like
a class 3
or
level
something.
2 or something. Class 3 is pretty high.
Porcupine guy.
Or like Rogue, or like also, is it his mental connection to his powers? Because if we, like when we watch X-Men First Class, whenever that is, we see him like really focusing and trying really hard to strengthen his powers. So it's like your powers are apparently like a muscle. You can make it stronger. So maybe it's that he has these neural pathway connections where he's able to tap back into it. And it's like someone who hasn't unlocked that connection to their powers, maybe they can't do that. Thoughts and feelings. But yeah, we get the Alcatraz. We get to Alcatraz with this bridge. He connects the bridge he makes the bridge long enough, the section long enough to connect from Alcatraz all the way to the mainland, which is long. That's a long distance. They didn't want the prisoners to just be able to swim back to land.
He basically just turned it.
For real. So he lifted it up and turned it while there were things on it. Like, wow. His power is
crazy. Also, I feel like his age matters too. He's had a lot of time.
Correct.
To hone on his skills.
Agreed. And we see Mr. Secretary going crazy. He's like, now is not the time for diplomacy. He's swinging off of
the blue man.
He's swinging off of poles by his feet, grabbing people. He going crazy. He an animal with it.
He a beast.
Literally, like, that's literally his name. His name is Beast. But
not Mr. Beast.
Not Mr. Beast. Just Beast. And so now Juggernaut is going after the kid, and Kitty's like, I gotta go after the kid. I can go through the walls. And so it's like, baby, he can go through the walls too.
Right.
She tries to sink him in the floor. He was like, you trying to sink me?
That was tea, though.
You know who I am?
No.
And then this man literally jumps out of the floor, and I'm like, oh, we know who you are. And Juggernaut is a real word. It means something. I don't know what it means.
Oh, I thought you had this, like...
No.
Oh, okay.
When I was spelling it, I was like, wow, like, this is a real word. It's not just a name. I'm like, that makes sense. Like, they gave him that name for a reason, because that word means something. Anyway, though. And I'm thinking, I wonder how would Juggernaut try to KO Jimmy without his powers, because, like, he's not going to be...
He probably would just, like, smush him.
Yeah, because he's still big and strong.
Yeah.
But...
Which is crazy. Like, if you just think about, like, that's a kid. Like, to just snap a neck, like...
He don't care. He Juggernaut.
Yeah, but still, like, that's a child. Was he, like, 11 or something in that profile?
Yeah. R.I.P., I guess. But no.
Because he lost.
That's right. And Kitty outsmarts him. He's like, come on, let's go. He's like, your powers are not going to work with me. And she's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And then, bump.
Hits his head against the wall, yeah.
Yep. Sleep, just like that. And
object almost stays in mode unless acted on by an outside force.
And the outside force was Jimmy.
And the wall.
You heard? And then, we see the guy who invents the cure. They're like, you're the guy. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy. I would have been lied. I'm like, nah, that guy on the 3rd floor.
No.
I see him run that way.
Literally. Like, these people are mutants. You see them, like, taking over
attacking
outside.
The building. Yeah. So
why would you say that you're the guy?
So yeah, that's me. I'm him. About to throw him off the roof.
Like, you deserve it. Like,
and we
stupid.
We peeped Warren at the house, and he's like,
he was eavesdropping. Like,
oh,
see, I thought he was eavesdropping because he was finna go help.
No, for real.
No,
but I mean, he did help. He saved his father.
He helped himself. He helped his father.
He just got there. Okay, give Warren some credit. He already was brave to not take this.
Brave.
You don't give no people no. Okay, you don't care about Al. She's like, no, do better. Everybody actually just needs to be 10 times better in this movie. Thank you.
That was crazy work, though. Come in, take your father, and leave. Like, you could have, I don't know, stopped a few soldiers on your way. Like,
he had a whole childhood of battle.
Okay, wind. Like, wind. Come on, something.
He needed to save his. He got a battle with his father to build a relationship,
which is even like its own trauma in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't like your daddy because he doesn't like you, but you still want to. That's so crazy. Like, the parent and kid dynamic will always be like wanting to make your parent proud no matter how horrible they treat you. It's sick. Like, I want to please you so bad, but like, you don't give 2 F's about me. Mm-hmm. Crazy work.
Yeah, really, really, really sad.
Not
definitely
me
though. Very important to, I don't know, just be locked in when you got kids, bro. I don't know. Anyway, though, now we get Iceman versus Fireboy. Okay,
the
and
video game.
yup. And
but they not playing together.
No, and Iceman wins. You take him out. He frees him.
Which is Magneto's plan during
popsicle him.
Magneto's plan during this was very interesting because he was like, "Yo, like, let the little testers go first. Like, you're gonna display an order." and he left him for last, which was very interesting. Like, why was he still?
Yeah, like, why is he
behind?
higher than a pawn? Like, he's like a rook, a knight. And I'm thinking maybe it's because they have a deeper connection, a deeper relationship, versus these people just got on just now for the cause. They're like, they got on simply to fight the cure, fight the serum. And he's been with him for a couple of years now. You know, gotta remember, years have passed. They have this years to build up this relationship.
Also, why does he hate Bobby so much? What did Bobby do to him?
Exactly. What did
Bobby
have a family and have opposite power?
But he saw his family like not really care about him in
exactly
real time.
This is why I'm saying, like, he just wants to be angry. Like, he left the ability to have like a stable and happy environment in order to go be with other people who are angry. So, like, he just wants to be angry. He's just not a good person.
He could have stayed with Storm. She angry.
But
we see Bobby evolve too. He gets stronger with his powers. He turned full ice.
He did. He turned full ice, man. You can't turn full flame-o. You can't generate no flames without a spark.
You not Johnny.
You not Johnny. You just John.
B-word.
Exactly. But now, you know, the king has ran out of all his pawns, all his knights, all his rooks, and he's like, I don't got no bishops.
He ain't got a queen either.
No, nobody. Dang. All right, I gotta go handle this myself. And so, you know, it's Logan versus him, and he's like, oh my goodness, you never learn. And I'm thinking that he never learned too. I'm like, Logan, what the heck? You know this not gonna work.
Nah.
Surprise. Yeah. He was a decoy.
He locked in.
I'm like, OMG. Eric got. No more Mr. Power Guy for you. And now Phoenix is out of control. She's I forgot what her mission was. To destroy the building, destroy something.
I think she was like last resort.
Yeah, but I don't. Well, like, what was she using her power to do in this moment? Is what I don't know. But she going wild. She going crazy. She's out of control, and she's basically turning everything around her into dust. Everyone's being Thanos right now, and so Logan, he's like, I'm the only one who could do it.
And at first, I was like, why? Why are you the only one that can do it? Like, don't make me mad right now.
And then did you figure it out?
I figured out why. I was like, okay.
You know, this man's skeleton being shown. And I'm like,
regenerate at the same time. I was like,
and it's like,
word. Okay.
Also, very good that they're paying attention to the detail. Made the skeleton silver, you know, because it's adamantium. It's not regular bone. And I also wonder, like, if this was the time when his skeleton was not adamantium, like, would his bones disintegrate? Like, would he not be able to go do what he did?
Well,
like, would his bones just regenerate fast?
I don't remember. Do you know his stuff? Was that from Originals or was that from Wolverine?
That was from, like, X-Men Origin.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But weren't they like fragile when they came out? Or am I just making that?
I mean, they're bones, like, they're breakable.
Yeah, but
it's
not like fragile. Like fragile.
Yeah, they weren't fragile. Okay. They just were bone.
So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking like the bone would probably disintegrate a little bit, but it would still regenerate.
So yeah, maybe it'd be like less or
not as fast.
Yeah.
But he risked his life to save Jean. You know, he's like, she's like, you would kill yourself for them. Like you would risk your life for them. Not for them. Never for you. And then Jean snaps back. She's like, oh my gosh, save me. Bow.
Knock her out. Well,
for life.
Stabbed her.
Knocked her out for life.
In 3 different places.
Yep. Bam, bam, bam.
Which is crazy. And then he had the nerve to scream. No.
Bro, you can't let nobody be sad. No one can have emotions. They can only be nonchalant. Right? Our nonchalant queen is like, you have to be nonchalant or you get kicked out of the kingdom.
I'm not even nonchalant, bro.
But everyone else has to be. She said now he got the nerve to scream. He loved her.
Okay, but he knew he was like, you don't have to scream no. Like, you know what you're doing. Like, what do you mean?
But like, that don't mean he's happy about it.
Okay, but like, It's just the choice of verbiage. Like, what do you mean no? Like, obviously she's gonna die. Like, she's not gonna die because you scream no. Like, you stabbed her. The whole point was for her to die. Like, just understand. Like, maybe if he just, like,
I just don't understand.
If he just screamed in general, okay,
then like that would be fine. But he said no. So the answer is yes.
Literally.
Bro, you are.
But that's
hilarious.
Also crazy how powerful she is, and it just takes one stab to the stomach. KO.
Yeah, maybe it's like a willful accepting of the death. You know, when the water crushed on her, she didn't really want to go. You know, she wanted to live her life, see her people, you know, spend more time with her husband, maybe start a family. And it's like, I don't get to have that.
Have an affair.
You know, flirt with the bad guy and be with the good one.
Maybe that was Phoenix coming out.
Maybe.
T.
And it's like, oh my goodness, I need to save us. Boom.
Yeah, I was just thinking more of like the dynamic of like people who are all powerful still have, you know, like
weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Her kryptonite is death.
Her kryptonite are 3 stab wounds in the
3
stomach.
blades to the ribs. But I was like, but no, I did say like, oh, 1 stab to the ribs and she just dead automatically.
Right, like
I don't even think he stabbed her in the heart.
No,
like,
it was in the stomach because he was like holding her like right
and it was like boom, and I'm like, so she just dead.
Maybe she was pretending.
She's like,
until she bled out.
She's like, I'm gonna be dead soon enough.
Right.
Yeah, thank God.
She wanted to hear Logan say no just to make sure.
He's like, he really cared.
Make sure he wasn't manipulating her. Because if he was like, oh, finally she would have woke up.
But now we get the resolution, okay?
We finally get Scott's funeral.
Not even. We just see the gravestone.
I mean, yeah, but
it's something. And, you know, we find out Rogue take the serum and she gets to hug Bobby. And it's like, I didn't even like this because I'm like, I don't want to see you touching Bobby. You don't deserve it.
She doesn't know. Like, she wasn't viewing it how we were viewing it.
I understand, but that still don't mean that he deserves it.
She gonna learn on her own.
That's messed up, man.
Or I was also thinking, like, is Bobby, like, still gonna like her? Is he gonna feel, like, pressure to still stay with her? It's like, in his head, she gave up her powers for him. And that holds, like, some type of, like, animosity.
That's true. But she reassured him immediately. She's like, I didn't want this. And he was like, yeah, I know. It's about what I want. And so it's like, yeah, you know.
It's still going to be in the back of the head, but for sure.
For sure. Definitely still going to be in the back of the head. And
but I guess we'll never know because you said they don't pop up again.
Yeah. But I also said that last movie and then they were here for this movie. Okay. So I was going to say again, like, oh, I don't really think. But I'm like, you know, actually, I don't know.
Who knows?
Not me. And then Hank, he is speaking for the mutant and human affairs now in combination.
He got upgraded. Promotion.
He's speaking in front of people right after like the president is introducing him. So it's like, you know, really big mutant human relations going on in a positive way on a big screen. And construction crew, like I said, was already fixing a bridge. They're like, these Californians got somewhere to go.
All that traffic up in there.
We see Magneto moving the chess piece a little bit. I thought Charles was honestly about to come sit down and play with him. But
I thought that man was dead.
You know, yes, then I see the thing and move and I'm like, okay, Charles is dead. And then we get boom. In credit scene.
Yeah. We completely forgot. Stamps was up in this movie.
Yes, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Yes, his water goes upside down.
Yeah, he's the neighbor with the hose.
Yeah.
And this is his first X-Men appearance, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also this comes out in 08, 06. And I feel like this is also the time around like Spider-Man and Iron Man. So maybe this is just
like getting more getting comfortable doing that.
I feel like also just when he started to decide to start doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't do it that early on.
That's true. And yeah, so our end credit scene, Charles wakes up and he's like, hey, Moria.
And first of all, who was that?
This is also someone who is from X-Men First Class. and she is a doctor. They have a relationship. Like, she's important in that movie.
Yeah, we'll figure. Yeah, my thought was just like,
who is this lady?
Why do you know who she is? Why does she know who you are?
And
and call back to, I already said this earlier, to the scene in the classroom when he was talking about, like, what if a mutant went into someone else's brain? Is that morally definitely wrong? Obviously, he doesn't care because he did it.
But I don't think that he's in a dead person's brain. I think that he is in his own body.
That didn't look. I thought that was like the literal body from the news.
What news?
The
news was saying what?
The news, and that when he was teaching his class.
No, because like they didn't show his face.
No, that's why I thought it was like, oh, he like callback. Like he literally went into the body he was talking about earlier. That was like brain dead.
That is not what I thought about at all. Yeah, not at all. I thought it was like, oh, like maybe his powers protected him, and like, maybe he wasn't as gone as like what was it seemed. Like maybe this is why I'm thinking like his powers had more to do with like him quote unquote dying and being like, oh, like maybe he provided an illusion. Maybe like he did get hurt and needed to like be healed and like in a hospital. Like maybe he did go into a coma, but like he didn't disintegrate.
I was thinking like Bobby and Bob, what's that kid's name? Wanda's kids. I was thinking more
Billy.
like Billy and
Bob. No,
that's not their names.
It's Billy and Tommy.
Billy and Tommy. I was thinking more like them, like how he like transloaded, downloaded himself into a different body that was already dying.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
I don't know if we do.
I feel like they would explain to make it an end scene credit.
Yeah.
We would at least see if it's his body or not. Like
I hope so.
Something will be explained.
Something. But this movie was not as good as the first two for me.
Really?
Yeah. I feel the opposite. I feel like there was a lot of holes and just like confusion and just be like, what's going on here? And not in like a good, they set this up on purpose way. Being like, this thing kind of messy. So I gave her like just a little 3, just a little half mark.
This is like the first time we're like
opposites.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I like these movies better than the first two.
Yeah,
like I was locked in. I wasn't like, I rated this on like how I enjoyed it, not on like the depths and like what's going on and then continuity and stuff. Like I was actually able to sit through and watch this whole movie without stopping. Like, wow, I couldn't do that last time. Yeah. I had to watch that in 3 parts. So I gave her a nice little 4 out of 6. I was like, wow, this is like actually like, okay, maybe this is my tea. Like maybe I can get into it.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, are you watching anything right now?
I'm watching Love is
Blind? Love Island?
Oh, Love Island. I'm watching Love Island USA live right now. By the time this podcast comes out, it's gonna be way further in the season. But yeah, some tea up in there. If you like dating shows, I feel like this one's different than others, which I feel like what makes this cool and different than the others is the fact that it's live. So like they're literally in Fiji right now,
right?
Like experiencing this, and so it makes the audience able to like participate in the show and like vote.
Versus other seasons, they're not live.
Other dating shows.
Oh, Love Island specifically is always live compared to other love shows. Okay.
Yes, yeah. It's way more interactive.
I get you. I am not watching any shows right now, but I did just recently watch Blackula on Friday the 13th.
A Black Dracula?
Yes, and the movie is called Blackula, and it is based in the 1970s and is also filmed in the 1970s. And I thought it was interesting because I've seen movies that were based in the 1970s but were filmed in like, the 21st century, and they use that funky music, and I always think it should really help get our minds into the 70s, but it's like,
You're
no,
no, they actually did that.
Exactly, like that's actual music that they were using, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy, like seeing the video quality match up with like the type of cars that there are, like, matching up with the music. I'm like, wow, it really looked like that for real. It looked and sounded like, go off.
I feel like it would be so interesting because my granddad used to watch like those old like cowboy films.
Bro, my grandma and my grandpa still do.
I feel like that's the epitome of like older people television. It would be so interesting to pop one of those on. I feel like it'd be trash, but
you know, for the experience,
right? Who knows?
Well, thank you guys for listening. Yes. I know there's not much to watch today, but
thanks for still sticking in the corner. Thanks for
literally still looking in the corner, thanking you. Thanks, guys.
Our camera is usually in the corner. That's why we're looking in the corner. But thanks for sticking around. If you stuck around, we manifestation. We will get this figured out
every time. It will be figured out. We'll have nice, high quality equipment. We will have someone else doing the behind the scenes work for us, so we don't even have to worry. We just
I just meant like next week, next podcast.
This next podcast is right. We got other things to do. Like, why is this?
No, it's fine.
I'm about to crash out.
No, stop. Everything will work. We will figure this out. So don't worry. We will bring video episodes to you. Okay. Sometimes things happen and it's just a fluke, and that's what it is, and we will be fine.
God bless us.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Yes, please
like, subscribe, comment. Let us know if you're feeling the X-Men movie the X-Men universe from this movie, or is it like, nah? You know, are you flipping flopping like me and Rosie are, or are you staying true? Let us know. Bye, guys.
Bye.